Hello and welcome to 6 Degrees of Feature Film. It has been quite a minute.
It's been a hot second, girlfriend. We're back, baby. We're back.
We're here.
Yes,
We made it. I'm glad that we're
we
here.
did. We collected our thoughts. We went
Mhm.
on vacations and trips and
Yes.
did many things, and we're back. Weeks, months, years later. What year is it? I don't even know. I'm
don't
like
know.
Robin Williams in Jumanji. I don't know what's happening.
I'm Brienne, also known as Miss Movies. Actually, I'm Reese Witherspoon. I'm Tracy Flick.
Yeah.
Tracy Flick. That's probably my personality,
Probs.
actually.
Probs.
Yeah.
You are a little obsessive about baking.
Yeah, and I baked today. What do you know?
She
and
bakes
who are
today. I am Matthew Broderick, husband of Sarah Jessica Parker, who loved the solar eclipse. If you guys haven't watched those Instagram videos, they're the best thing that's ever happened to me. But I am also Stacey Howard, co-host with you of this fine show.
This fine show is fine. I
It's
want to say
fine.
hello to everyone that I see in the chat, including Randall Sands, Elise McKenna, Rayak.
Mayan.
I don't know how to say it, and Janine. Hi, guys.
Janine. Hi, Janine. How
We
you
missed
doing?
you.
We
I mean, we
missed
saw you
everyone.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
We've seen you. You're
Yeah.
around, just not here through this space. Hi, Neil.
But we're back here. Hey, Neil. Hey, Neil. Hey, girlfriend. How you doing? Hey, boyfriend.
Am I the only one who's getting the problem? I don't know what that means, Meg.
Tell us the problem.
Tell us the problem.
We don't know. But for now, we're going to start chatting
We are
about
gonna
our
start.
films.
This is how the show works. We're going to take one film. We're going to show how 6 other films link up to it in some random way, shape, or form. And today we're starting with Election.
Yay!
Yay! And our
Oh,
first
Election.
link is Reese Witherspoon.
Hell to the yes. We haven't done this yet, and I don't know why, because we love Reese.
I know.
We love
She was
Reese's
like a
Pieces.
staple
Yeah.
growing up.
Yes.
Pretty
She
much.
was-
You know what I realized the other
What,
day?
what,
Okay,
what,
this
what?
is so off topic. I realized that you and I probably saw Silence of the Lambs at the same time because I saw it when I was 18 and you saw it when you were 9.
Yeah.
That would line up.
Whoa!
Solar eclipse, solar eclipse.
Don't stare into the light, you guys. We have a solar eclipse in front of us. This lighting is bright,
It is.
but it makes us look good, though, right?
Yeah, we gotta crank it up
Yeah,
to 11.
crank it up
Otherwise.
to 11. Goes all the way to 11.
All right, so
Exciting.
Election.
Right.
Election came out May 7th, 1999, the best year of film ever.
True dat.
It's about a high school teacher's personal life becoming complicated as he works with students during the school elections, particularly with an obsessive overachiever who's determined to become the student body president. Yeah, this was me. Although it was vice president. We had a scandal that went on at our school.
Ma, what?
Yes, we
What
had a
kind of
scandal
scandal?
during
Did someone,
ASB elections.
Did someone like sleep with someone?
No, not that kind of scandal. So
No?
what happened was to be eligible to run for ASB, you had to have a 3.0. That's what they said.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyone that excluded someone that wanted to run for ASB president.
Mm-hmm.
And then the elections went forward, and when the elections were over and everyone was elected, I was vice president.
Mm-hmm.
She came back and was like, that we have to redo this election because in the handbook it says you need 2.5 or above in the school handbook, in the student handbook. Like, so you saying 3.0 is actually not allowed. And so we went and redid the whole election, and she ran for president, and she didn't win, mainly because people were upset that she had called it out and said it wasn't right, and they felt bad for the other person that won originally, and they're like, well, I'm going to vote for her because she already won, and I feel bad to vote for this other person.
Yeah.
Under normal circumstances, I think the person who challenged it would have won. Like if they had just said, okay, you need a 2.5 or above to be on ASB.
I think you should have a 3.0. If you have a 2.5, you're not doing so hot in school, so you don't have time.
It was something like that. I don't
president.
know. Yeah.
Scandalous, you guys. High school is full of scandal. This movie is full of scandal. What is Election about?
Election, we
Yeah.
just went over what it's about.
I know that, but I'm
I
saying
love,
who's in it.
okay, Matthew Broderick's in it. Chris Klein, this was his first movie because he was discovered when they were like looking for
At a high
locations
school.
for this, which is hilarious. And Reese Witherspoon. And I find that what I like about Election. First time I watched it, I didn't like it. Oh, thank you for abandoning movie talk for this, Geek Furious. That's really nice of you.
Thanks. Tell them that.
Yeah, because we're the small little hubbub here.
Guys,
So basically, I like that it's narrated. I didn't like it the first time I watched it. I felt like, what is this movie? I don't get it. And then when I watched it over again, I was like, oh, I really like it. And as I get older, I like it more. I think it's the idea that there's so many different narrators.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that appeals to me. I like that.
I like that. There is a narration by Chris Klein, and it's my favorite line in the whole movie, which I will do in a Rocky voice for you guys later.
I
But
can't
just
wait.
the way he says it is it's so genuine and so sweet and sincere.
Mhm.
The way he says it, and you're like, what did you just say? It's fantastic. I loved this movie the first time I saw it,
Mhm.
but I think I related to Reese Witherspoon and Chris Klein's characters more as the kids. But now that I'm older, I relate more to like the Matthew Broderick
Right,
character.
that's
and
always
you
happens.
were a teacher, so how do you feel
about the Matthew Broderick character? Well, he's kind of a scumbag. I mean, just in general.
Yeah.
Although
everyone in
a
this
lot of
movie is
teachers
kind of
are
a
kind of
scumbag.
scumbags. But unfortunately, it's unfortunate. But like outside of school, you're like, don't know if I want to be friends with that
appropriate? Yeah.
person. I don't think anyone's ever been inappropriate, like at work or like, work and outside life. But there's some people that I'm like, I don't know if I would be friends with them just in general outside of this.
Dang.
So
looking a small look into the lives of teachers, you guys.
Just a very small look.
A very, very
very
small
tiny look.
A very small. I'm gonna have to ask you a little bit more about your teaching days because we haven't talked about those, and I'm quite curious.
We've not.
Quite curious, you guys. It was nominated for an Oscar for screenplay. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And that was a stacked year. So
yeah,
that's pretty amazing that it was
Dang.
able to, the little engine that could get
that little
that
dark
Oscar
comedy.
nom.
Yeah.
What do you know? I feel like oh yeah. Okay, so this only made like 14 million at the box office, but cost 25 million to make, which is unfortunate. But I feel like maybe it's become more of a cult.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Has a cult following? I don't know.
Pick flick. Pick
That's
flick,
right.
you guys.
Pick flick.
That's how you win.
Flick cupcakes.
That's how you win. That's how you win. Is you I've brought cupcakes to many schmo things, and it always wins me favor. We're not the best competitors, we're not the most
we're not the top of the food chain.
Yeah, we're not the top of the food chain, but we bring the sass, we bring the
style,
sweetness, we bring the style, and we
all
bring
those
the cupcakes.
S's.
Yeah, all
so many S's.
S's.
Style, sass, and what was the other one?
Scrumptious
sweetness.
Cupcakes. Yeah, and sweetness. Sweet cupcakes. We brought it all.
There you go.
We brought it all. Fantastic.
There it is. Cupcakes. Yeah. Also, I love that it says pick flick, it is supposed to look like pick fuck.
Oh yeah.
So
that's right. It does almost look like. That's great.
What else did you like about this movie?
I love Reese Witherspoon's character because she is super annoying and ambitious and just ruthless, and that's not the way we see her a whole lot. So to see young Reese just hamming it up with this role, I thought was fantastic. And I thought she did a good job with the accent too. She's a Southern girl, but she pulled off that Nebraska accent. Whenever she's in the first little shot of the movie of her where she's in the classroom, she's like this, and she's trying to answer a question, and she's like, well, the difference between, what was the word she was talking about?
Like, I know.
Empathy and sympathy or something like that. And I was like, oh, Jesus, this girl. I thought she was great at making us hate her when we usually love her. She's like America's sweetheart.
The one thing I didn't like about this film was her like relationship with another teacher at the school. I felt like that just wasn't necessarily needed. But I don't know, because then you see her at the end. I mean, because Matthew Broderick's character is kind of the only one that really knows about this relationship. And so maybe that's why he hates her even more. But I don't know. I felt like it wasn't necessary. And it just made me feel gross.
I felt like maybe that was their way of making her seem like a normal teenager, maybe. Like she wants, most teenagers want love and a relationship and sex, and maybe that was their way of showing us like she's not all, all work all the time. She does want to play, and maybe that shows how ruthless she was. She saw an opportunity with another teacher. Like if I get with him, maybe it'll help me. So
I don't know.
I don't
Still
know.
grosses me out. I
It
feel
is
like if
gross,
it was
it is.
maybe like a 18-year-old like TA or something, and that's kind of
Yeah.
skating the line, I'd be
Mhm.
like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
no, I
Old
don't
gross
know.
teacher. Little gross man. Gross.
Yeah, gross.
Boys are
gross.
gross.
What?
Ben.
What's going on? We sent Ben on an
We
errand.
are. It's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I'm worried that he has spent all my money now.
Did you?
You're very broke.
I am.
I've
now.
taken all of it.
Thank you. Thank you. We
What are
sent
you
him
still
on an
doing
errand.
here? If you have so much money,
I mean, I'm not getting paid for this to begin with, so it doesn't
That's
really
true.
impact
You're
it.
you're paid
That's
with
true.
snide comments. So
Yeah.
there you go.
There you go. Melissa Joan Hart auditioned for the role of Tracy Flick.
She would've
I
been
think
good
she would have been
too.
really great.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Anyways, shall we move it on?
yeah. We
Let's
should
move it
we
on. We're
should.
doing Reese Witherspoon films,
Yes,
as you know.
Mhm.
Would you like to go first, please? Oh, I will go
Excuse
first.
me. Okay, you go first.
I'm gonna link it to Sweet Home Alabama because I feel like we have not spoken about this movie
We haven't.
on the show at all.
This is one of my mom's favorite films.
Okay, it's great.
It's so good. It is a feel good down home movie, y'all.
It came out September 27th, 2002. Your mom kind of reminds me of her mom. Is that why she likes this movie? There's something
Yes.
about her mom that makes me think of your mom now that you say that.
Yes, yes, she probably does.
Because she's hospitable. She just seems very nice.
She's
and
very
a
sweet. She's
kind
very
woman.
welcome. She's a good old Southern woman.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Welcome to my home, y'all. Would you like some donuts and some coffee? So good to meet you." She's very sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is about a young woman who is reinventing herself as a New York socialite, but must return home to Alabama to obtain a divorce from her husband after 7 years of separation. I feel like at some point, why isn't there like how there's like a common law marriage? Why isn't there a common law divorce?
Yeah.
I feel like that
if
should
you
happen.
haven't done anything together or been together, they automatically. Well, I guess they don't know how to separate assets.
I guess. I don't know.
Like they don't legally. You got to like work it out. So you have to get a
Mhm.
divorce.
This is directed by Andy Tennant, who also did It Takes Two. Yeah.
Oh,
Ever After, A Cinderella Story, which I love.
one of my favorite films.
I love that movie. Anna and the King, Hitch. Oh, well, let's
Hitch.
talk about Hitch for just a second, please.
Okay.
And Fool's Gold.
All right.
Fool's Gold. I was on a cruise and I did the movie trivia. It was a movie quote trivia, right? It was the entire like bar, which was I don't know how big it was. Like I don't know what you would compare it to, but it was quite large. So there were a lot of people in there to play. It was me, and against like teams. I came in second, but I lost against a team of like 6 people. And the thing I lost to was a quote from Hitch because they
What
knew
was
the
quote.
It was something like, it's not about the moments. It's not something about the moments about your breath. It's the moments that take your breath away. Like something like that. I was like, what the? I don't know. Like, how am I? Where would I ever pull
That's in
Hitch
his,
from?
Oh God, is that in his beginning monologue that he does?
It could be.
I can't remember. I haven't watched Hitch in a while. The movie's a guilty pleasure for me.
It's on all the time, apparently, on television, and I've
On
only seen it
TBS.
once, mainly, and I don't have cable, so I can't watch it. I can't catch up on it. I can't see it just randomly clicking through things. So
Will
it's not on
Smith-
my radar.
Will Smith and Eva Mendes have good chemistry in it. Genuine chemistry. They had a good time.
I'd go with
making
that.
it.
They seem like they would have good chemistry. Anyways, just had to go on that tangent because I'm just like, maybe I just need to watch Hitch again.
Maybe there's gonna be questions.
There's
in the
probably
showdown.
will be. I'm sure I'll lose on a Hitch question. I predicted on one of on my on the film therapy that I did with Matt Nost. I was like, I know what we were talking about questions on the Schmodown, and I was like, I know what questions aren't going to be asked on the Schmodown. It's all the movies I like, and I know which ones are going to be asked. And I'm going to probably lose on a James Bond question. Total foreshadowing. What do you know? What do you know?
That's
Anyways,
what they call predicting.
this stars Reese Witherspoon, Josh Lucas,
Josh
Patrick
Lucas.
Dempsey, Ethan Embry,
Ethan.
Ah, we should have
I
invited
forgot
him
he's
once
in
again,
this.
once again.
Ethan.
Fred Ward, Mary Kay Place, Candice Bergen, Jean Smart. Now, Josh Lucas, when I first saw this movie and when I first saw The Notebook, I was like, that kind of looks like my boyfriend at the time, which is now my husband. And so I still am like, that kind of looks like my husband.
Oh.
Sometimes I'll see him in films and stuff.
They
and
do
I'm
have
like,
similar noses.
that's
They've got that.
probably
It's a long nose and it's got a bump, but it's not
Mhm.
an unattractive bump. There are bumps that are unattractive in
Sure.
noses. I feel like I have one.
Mm-hmm.
I have one.
But
No,
there are
you don't.
bumps. There are bumps that are good, and you're like, no, that looks good on you. You go, kid,
Hmm.
and they have it.
This was the first movie that was allowed to be filmed at Tiffany's in New York
Oh, they did that
since
for Reese.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Okay.
been a while
It's been a long time, you guys.
They did that
They
for
did that for
Reese?
Reese. They did.
because she was like, listen.
She goes, listen, I am Legally Blonde. I'm a powerhouse.
Mhm.
You need to do this for me.
I get it.
What year was this again?
2002. And it was also
Oh,
the
so it's
first movie to
before
be
World War
allowed to
I.
shoot in New York since the September 11th attacks.
Oh wow.
So that's kind of an interesting fact.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
good
what
movie.
else?
You need some happiness. after
Charlize
that.
Theron was originally cast.
I cannot picture her in this role.
I can't either. Has
Not
she
at
done
all.
rom-coms?
I don't know. What rom-coms has Charlize Theron did? Because I can only picture her dramas and Oscar movies and like the
The
Italian
very
Job.
serious
Some
Charlize.
serious shit.
I don't know. If
She had a part in Arrested Development that was kind of rom-commy. I can say that.
Oh,
first of
yeah,
all.
Mm.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
that's right.
Yeah.
That was so bad. It was good, but it was so
Yeah.
politically incorrect.
But I'm pretty sure there's been rom-com, like movie rom-com she's done. I'll look it up.
I know she did like
Hmm.
the Million Ways to Die in the West, but that was like a comedy, not really a rom-com.
Hmm.
And she only
True.
did it because she's friends with what's his face,
Some guy.
Seth MacFarlane or
Hmm.
something. That's
All
it,
right,
Ben.
that's
That's all
it.
you got. Okay,
That's all
well,
we got for
fucking
Sweet
hurry
Home
up.
Alabama.
I'm
ladies and
having
gentlemen.
internet issues on my computer, so I'm using
Whatever.
my phone
all
now.
right,
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because the Wi-Fi in this house is terrible.
Wi-Fi.
Anyways, Sweet Home Alabama. What? Any additional thoughts before we move it on?
I mean, Josh Lucas was just so cute in this role. He's super adorable, and
Mhm.
he's like a dirty, sassy Southern, not a gentleman. And I like that. He reminds me of
Mhm.
so many boys back home.
Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Maybe not boys that I had necessarily dated, but like are either related to or that I knew in high school. And I feel like whenever women who aren't from the South are like, I just want me a Southern man, this is what they mean.
Man that blows glass.
Yeah. Yeah, you can blow something else too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That didn't really work for the female anatomy, but here we are. But here we are.
Here we are. So there you go. Sweet Home Alabama.
It's good. It's
I just
good
like
time.
yeah, I miss these mid-level rom-coms.
Yeah.
They've been taken over by superhero films, so we don't get them anymore.
I like that
The
word too,
budget doesn't
mid-level
allow.
rom-coms.
Yeah.
Then it was, it was like the Katherine Heigls were getting in there, and I was like, no,
know,
like
I
27
I'm not into
Dresses,
her.
and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I
That's
have
always
one.
on at Dry Bar.
What rom-com
She was in a
Charlize Theron?
rom-com called Waking Up in Reno,
Never saw it.
which
Never
was
heard of it.
starring Billy Bob Thornton and Patrick Swayze.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
neither have
count.
I.
Waking
I mean,
Up
it
in
exists.
Reno. Okay.
That's what you get for waking up in Reno. How dirty would that be? Like Reno was like the dirty Las Vegas. How gross is that going to be?
No offense to those that live in Reno.
I don't know if we have any listeners from Reno. Sorry, guys, if I offended your gross city. But I have seen Reno 911, and I know
Oh,
how
okay,
trashy
okay.
everyone is.
Mhm.
I did meet Thomas Lennon at a party the other night. I just want everyone to know. And I
Oh.
got a Polaroid with him.
Whoa.
And he was great, and he was really nice and cool.
Let's move
So
on
there
to
you
your
go.
Reese Witherspoon film, which I haven't seen.
What?
Big surprise.
Okay, so from Election, we went to Reese Witherspoon movies. You did Sweet Home Alabama. I am doing Wild. Wild
Mhm.
is a chronicle of a woman's 1,100-mile solo hike undertaken as a way to recover from a recent personal tragedy. Came out in 2014, directed by Jean-Marc Vallée.
Oh,
also
Dallas
direct-
Buyers
yeah.
Club.
And Demolition, which is a
As
good indie
well
film.
as something lies. Big Little Lies. There we go.
Oh,
Sometimes
okay.
things take a while to
Okay.
get to my brain.
I forgot about that. Stars Reese Witherspoon, obviously, Laura Dern, Thomas Sadowski, Keen McCrae, and some other peeps. I was nominated for an Oscar for Best Actress for Reese and Best Supporting Actress for Laura Dern. Basically, a woman, and this is based off of a book,
Right.
which is based off of a life, an
Autobiography.
autobiography,
Right.
which is a biography of a woman who's a writer now and worked with Reese on this film, and they become great friends. And you can tell that she had a lot of influence on the film because Reese was like, there are moments when I was really uncomfortable where she has to have like a three-way with these guys in a back alley at a diner she was working at, and like when she's on drugs and sleeping with random people and all this crazy
Whoa.
stuff, crazy shit that you wouldn't think Reese would do necessarily, but the woman who it is her autobiography was like, no, this is what happened in my life, we need to portray this, we have to go
You're
there.
right.
And so they went there, and Oscar season, come on guys, Wild was all over it. I loved this film because we saw a different side of Reese that we don't usually see. She had done rom-coms for a while, like This Means War, I think, had come out of a few years before this. And you know, she did all the like Legally Blonde, all these wonderful like squeaky clean roles, I guess you would say. And this comes along and you're like, damn, Reese, okay, putting it out there. And it was gorgeously shot, very isolating feeling because she's doing this trek all by herself, and she runs into a few random characters along the way, so that helps kind of break up the movie. But it's just about her finding her inner peace and her silence when her life and drug use and everything had become so chaotic. So you can see how much she struggles physically because she's a small woman carrying this huge pack, doing this large trek. She doesn't have a whole lot of food with her, so there's moments where she's incredibly frustrated and wants just and does scream into the wilderness because she's like, I'm all alone. What if I die out here? What am I doing? Why am I doing this for my life? And you go with her on the journey. So I loved this film. I thought it was great.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Mhm.
Like, first of all, that someone would take this journey.
Yeah.
But I guess she was on trying to get off drugs. Is that part of it too?
Yeah, she had I guess she'd just gone through rehab to kind of get off drugs.
Okay.
And so she was like, I'm going to go on this journey to just, she wanted to feel accomplishment. She wanted, I guess, purge all the bad shit that had happened. Her mother had also died right before that, or her mother had died. And then she started cheating on her husband a lot, sleeping with random people, doing drugs. So this tragedy had happened. She, rather than dealing with that, just went into like, you know, heroin addiction. And then, excuse me, I burped. So sorry. Just wanted everyone to know that.
You know.
As I do. And in order to come out of that and kind of get over everything, she goes on this trek that I guess people, it's like a thing that people try and do. Like,
Yeah, like
it's
Into the Wild.
yeah,
Did
like
you ever
Into
see
the
that?
Wild. I did. I love Into the Wild. And like climbing,
man.
you know, Mount Kilimanjaro and all that stuff.
Right.
It's like a physical thing. People want to say, yes, I accomplished that. And so
I really
forget what it's called.
appreciate those people. I wish that I was one of those, but I have zero desire to do anything physical.
This is true.
So-
You and me both, girlfriend. You and me both.
My only thing that I'm like, yes, I hope I do that is like to every 5 years be able to fit back into my song girl outfit so I can be part of the reunion that we do every
Yeah.
5 years for USC where we're on the field and it's like over 100 women dancing to
That's cool.
some song by the
What's
band.
the oldest woman? And does she look good in her outfit?
Yeah. Okay. The oldest women, I believe, were I want to say in their 60s.
Nice.
I don't know how old, but definitely in their 60s, and they all look great.
Awesome.
I mean, they do have a way that you can like purchase a new outfit if you need to.
No, that's cheating.
That's like for your year, for your stat. Like they go through all the old. It's kind of
Mhm.
crazy how they do it,
wow.
but so far I'm like I don't want to have to purchase it. We'll see.
Don't purchase it. You look good, girl.
If I can't fit, I just won't go that year.
No, you gotta go. I'm gonna make you go. 6 months before, I'm gonna
The
be
next
like,
one is like
"Let's
in
get up
2
and run."
years.
Okay.
So I'm like,
you're gonna get strong. You're already strong. Look at your muscles. Look at these muscles. I don't have any muscles. Look at my little weakling arms.
I was like, I guess this way is better, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. Mine isn't so good. Look at this little.
Well, you can't see it because
I know, but I've got little baby arms. I've got little weakling baby arms. It's okay. I'm working on it. Just kidding.
We
I'm
are
not
working
working
on
on it at all. Not at
Okay,
all. Literally
okay.
nothing.
As far as the audience knows, I'm ripped.
Yes,
Are you, Ben?
completely.
They don't know. I'm gonna say yes.
You're quite tall. I will
I
give
am
you that.
quite tall.
How's the weather up there? Ben? Just
Eh.
same as the weather down here.
Yeah.
It's a little breezier.
All right.
A little breezy.
Let's move it on. We
Sure.
went from election, then we did Reese Witherspoon movies with Sweet Home Alabama as well as Wild, and now we're going to link off of those two.
Yes.
I will go.
Go.
So I'm going to go off of Sweet Home Alabama. I'm going to go movies that are pretty much the same as Sweet Home Alabama.
Okay.
So, what is a movie that is similar to Sweet Home Alabama? It's The Notebook, and I'm not shitting you. It is exactly the same kind of story.
It is. You're right. She has to choose between two men,
Yes.
one from her past that is probably not the best for her,
Yeah.
one from her present that everyone wants her to be with and is probably the right choice, but her heart, you guys. Oh shit. Sweet Home Alabama is the same as The Notebook. My mind is fucking blown, you guys. This is
What
great.
do you know? So when Stacy links, here's what I want you to do in the chat. If you're in the chat, please give us some ideas of movies that are similar to Sweet Home Alabama. It doesn't have to be exactly, but The Notebook is pretty much exactly like it, only set in different times. So give us some ideas of movies that are similar to Sweet Home Alabama.
Yes, please.
So this came out June 25th, 2004. A poor yet passionate young man falls in love with a rich young woman, giving her a sense of freedom, but they are soon separated because of their social differences. Oh, you know what? It could be another one. Maybe Titanic.
Maybe Titanic. I'm going with Titanic.
You can go with
fine.
that.
Okay.
Okay, so The Notebook was directed by Nick Cassavetes, who did John Q, Alpha Dog, and My Sister's Keeper, and stars Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, James Gardner, Jenna Rollins, Joan Allen, who's really great as the mom, and James Marsden.
James Marsden.
He was really hot. I was like, why? Why? And again, Ryan Gosling and my husband look very much alike. My mom called me after seeing The Notebook and was like, your boyfriend looks exactly like the boy that's in The Notebook. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I was like, oh, you mean Ryan Gosling? And I was like, okay.
You should have been like, yeah, we had sex in the rain too. Tell your mom that. She'll love it.
This is the same story, only reverse. The budget was $29 million and it made $115 million at the box office because that is Nicholas Sparks for you. Because people like Nicholas Sparks.
Now, I know he did. Well, there are movies before The Notebook came out that are based off his books that were super popular. One was Hope Floats, right? Or Message in a Bottle or
Message
something.
in a Bottle and A Walk to Remember.
That's right. But then The Notebook comes out. This movie was the biggest thing me and my friends had ever seen. This was, what year was this?
2004.
This was 14-year-old Stacy and her friends at the peak of our hormones. And oh my God, I like boys. They're so cute. We saw this like 16 times in theaters. We were obsessed with this film.
Amazing. I didn't see it in theaters.
I remember we were trying to dissect like the whole sex scene thing. Like she has a vein in her forehead and we're like, okay, so what's happening here? Like we didn't know anything. And so we were like, we were like little innocents. We were like, oh my God, we see his butt. Like we just completely freaked out about it. I'm getting hot and bothered right now, you guys.
I love it. Apparently, Ryan Gosling prepared for this by living in South Carolina as well as building furniture. So the table they're eating at or the table they're at in that home is the one he made. I'm like, come on, stop it. Stop it, please. You can't be perfect all the time, right? Ryan Gosling, where are your flaws? I must know. Actually, maybe I shouldn't know. It's probably bad. Don't meet your heroes.
Keep the mystery.
Right.
Keep the mystery, you know?
All right. So which movie are you going to go to? Are you going to go to Titanic?
I see some great recommendations in the chat. So Geek Furious and My Best Friend's Wedding. Janini said This Means War. I secretly loved that movie. Tom Hardy, it's like the only rom-com he's done, I want to say. And he hated doing it. He was like, I'm never doing this kind of thing again. But I guess he was like talked into it. Oh, Keeping the Faith. Oh my God, I love that movie.
Reality Bites is great.
I haven't seen Reality Bites all the way through. I've seen bits and parts. I remember the whole gas thing where she
uses the gas card, buys people, they give her money.
And she can like pay off her like
directed by Ben Stiller.
Bills. That's right. That's right. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll up a little bit in the chat. Oh dang, how do I
Oh technology. This is not
shit.
here. Let me do it for you.
Sorry. Okay.
I still think crap, even I can't do it now. There. Whoa.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Oh, you know
Uh,
what? Okay, I'm gonna go with. I don't know who suggested keeping the faith. I need you to scroll down a
It's
little bit.
Janine.
Oh, yeah, Janine. Janine suggested keeping the faith, and this is a movie that I've actually wanted to talk about for a while because it had. This is the beginning of my love for Edward Norton.
Mhm.
In Keeping the Faith, basically, Edward Norton and Ben Stiller are childhood friends. One becomes a priest, one becomes a rabbi, and they both reconnect with their childhood friend, played
Mhm.
by
Dharma.
Jenna Elfman.
Yeah.
Yes, fuck yeah, from Dharma and Greg. I loved that
Yes.
show. Good old early 2000s show.
Bridget Jones's Diary would have been a good one too.
That is another good one. We're gonna
But
do
Keeping
that
the
as a
Faith.
feature film.
Okay, great.
Someday though, because
That
we need
sounds
to talk
good.
about Bridget Jones's Diary, and I
We
also
do
need
need
to see Bridget Jones's Baby. But Keeping the Faith, Ben Stiller and Edward Norton, our priest and a rabbi, reconnect with their childhood friend. Both have feelings for her. She only
Mhm.
has feelings for one though, and so it's a great look at relationships, sex, religion. Family, and it's just a good time. And I think Edward Norton, did he direct this or write it?
It's a great question.
I
I don't know.
Ben,
He did something
who
behind the
directed Keeping the
scenes.
Faith? Can you stop sipping your coffee and jerking off to anime porn and please
Anime
contribute to the
porn?
show?
Hold on a
Who
second.
directed Keeping the Faith?
I have so many questions about why you went there. Keeping the Faith was directed by Edward Norton.
Ah, yeah.
Good
I guess you
job.
got.
Good
Right.
I guess you
job.
get some things right.
I do. I get some things right.
Mhm.
Oh, also, someone said 10 Things I Hate About You. We're going to do that as a feature film, though.
And Sabrina.
And Sabrina.
And Great Expectations. These
Oh,
are
dang.
great.
Guys,
I love you
amazing
all.
suggestions. This is amazing. This is the best chat we've ever had. Sexiest people in there. I love it. I love it. Someone also said I was saucy. Yeah, you bet your ass I'm saucy for sure. Yeah, Keeping the Faith. It's just a feel good. It's well written. It's well directed, well paced. It's funny.
I don't remember much about it except for a basketball scene. That's really about it. That's really all I remember.
I remember, and they want to do like karaoke together. So they want to bring together the faiths, which is fun. Like the priest and the rabbi who are friends
Sure.
want to bring their senior citizens together to have karaoke.
Which
That'd be
one's the
so fun.
priest and which one's the rabbi?
Edward
Norton's
Norton is the priest.
Oh.
And Ben Stiller, who is
Oh,
Jewish.
yeah,
is
that,
the
okay, that
rabbi,
makes
which
sense. Okay.
much
Okay.
more sense.
Yeah, that does.
And so basically, there's a lot of drama in it because as a rabbi, Ben Stiller can get married and have relationships. And so they start having it, but then Edward Norton feels very left out. He has feelings for her and he's struggling because priests are not supposed to have relationships and, get married or have sex or anything. So he's struggling with his own temptations and he, hasn't really been tempted before, but now this woman who he had loved when he was younger as a boy, as children playing together, is back into his life. And there's a lot of discussion about faith and love, and it for someone like me who is not really religious and it's not a part of my life, I still liked this movie and like the conversations they had about it. So that shows you something.
It does show you something.
There you go. So that's my movie, Keeping the Faith.
I love it. Excellent. So we went from Election, then we linked it to Reese Witherspoon movies. We went to Sweet Home Alabama as well as Wild off of Sweet Home Alabama. We went to movies that are like Sweet Home Alabama with The Notebook as well as Keeping the Faith. And now Stacey is going off of Wild and doing something.
In Wild, she is walking along. Her shoes keep hurting her. Her toenails are falling off. She's struggling physically. It's craziness. So she has a moment of frustration. She takes off her hiking boots, screams, and throws them down the mountain. And then she's like, oh, fuck, I've lost my shoes. What am I going to do? So I'm going with movies where the characters lose their shoes or take off their shoes or have something to do with shoes. So
something with shoes.
Yeah,
great.
something with shoes. Yes.
So leave your ideas of movies with important shoe moments.
Yeah, you could do Die Hard.
I mean, I could do Austin
Cinderella.
Powers. We'll see.
You could do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna go with Holes.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I don't remember a shoe moment in Holes, so you're gonna have to tell me.
The beginning of the film, the whole thing is kind of interconnected, but he Zero is steals shoes and then throws them over the little highway thing.
Okay.
Shia LaBeouf's character finds them and then he is arrested for stealing the shoes and then has to go to this camp.
Okay.
And so there are shoes involved. There are shoes that are lost and then found by someone else. And then that results in everyone coming together. And it's a whole little circle of story.
Okay, perfect.
I've loved this movie, by the way. everybody had to read this book when I was in like fourth grade, fourth or fifth grade, I can't remember.
Mhm.
And it was a powerhouse performance by so many like huge Hollywood people. Sigourney Weaver is in Holes.
Yes.
John Voight is
Patricia
in Holes.
Arquette.
Patricia Arquette. Hell yes, Patricia
Kissing
Arquette.
Kate Barlow.
Kissing Kate Barlow. Yes, you guys. Yes. Young Shia LaBeouf, who is coming off hot from Even Stevens fame, does this great child like drama. This is like a true drama. There's some scary stuff in here. So basically a young boy is synopsis. Okay. A wrongfully convicted boy is sent to a brutal desert detention camp where he joins the job of digging holes for some mysterious reason.
Mhm.
So the warden, played by Sigourney Weaver, very scary woman in this, and John Voight, her right-hand man, are in charge of this camp where juvenile delinquents have to go and dig holes. They don't know why. They say it's supposed to be character building, but you realize the reasons
There is a
later
reason.
in the film. And it's all connected to things that happened in the past and families that are connected through generations. And the whole premise is just really cool because it's this kid's film, but it has to deal with very dramatic, very adult themes and situations, and there's like death and murder and these like kids that are being abused and the prison system and like so many just dark shit, but it's like a kids film, so it's really good because it's not dumbing down for the audience. It's not just dealing with like, oh no, my homework. No, this is like real shit, real talk, you guys.
I got some real talk for you.
Okay.
Shia LaBeouf, I have some insight into him when he was a child,
Please tell me.
getting into the industry. So a friend of mine, he was in the Big Brother Big Sister program, Shia LaBeouf was, and a friend of mine's significant other was also in it. And so he was their little brother, right? So they were connected to the film industry because he works in stunts and all sorts of special effects on set, like he blows stuff up. And so Shia was like, I really want to be an actor. I think I'd be very good at this. And he would like ask him for advice, like, how am I supposed to get an agent and stuff? And he's like, well, let's talk with your mom and figure this. He's like, no, I'm just gonna do it myself. And he started like making the calls himself like get himself an agent and like get himself to auditions. And I was just like, I really like the gusto that young Shia LaBeouf had to like get where he wanted to be.
I think his family were like clowns,
like hippies.
Yeah, they were like hippies and
Definitely.
clown performers, and they were in the arts. That was always to make the best actors. Look at all the Phoenix kids, River Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix. They're all in like the Children of God or some cult or whatever, and like these little hippie people in the woods, and like they always end up being the most successful people. Why weren't my parents hippies? Dang it!
I don't know.
That's super annoying.
So
so
I'm set.
annoying.
So I'm set.
You're good?
I'm good.
Are your
You're
were your
set?
parents
Your
hippies?
parents are
mom's a
hippies?
hippie.
I did not know this. Wait, how is your mom a hippie and your dad's not a hippie?
Because like it's a religion thing, and she's like okay with my dad not believing in it. Also, they're divorced, so like
Oh, okay.
it all fell apart.
All right. Ooh, not
Okay.
sorry to bring up
So you
family
have
drama.
half
then.
creativity and half
Yeah.
not.
That's okay.
That's how that works. Okay,
Also, you forgot
great.
Dule Hill, who's also in Holes. Dule Hill.
Ooh,
Burton-
yeah,
Burton,
he was
Burton Guster and Psych.
Oh,
yes.
I was gonna say it's the guy from Psych, but I didn't know his actual name. So thank you for that, Ben. So one good thing you've done today. I'm proud of you. Real proud of you. So yeah, Holes was just like the kids' movie to be like. It was
Kid
our,
power,
It was
kid
our drama,
power.
Kid power. Yes. So
I'm
I liked it a
gonna
lot.
link it to a movie, not Kid Power, but one we kind of brought up earlier, which is Ever After.
Nice.
Goes
good
with
choice.
shoes. Goes with
Hey,
shoes. And I
she does
love
lose her
Ever
shoes.
After. I probably have it somewhere behind us, but we do have Drew Barrymore right there.
Hey,
right
Drew.
there.
Hey,
Hey,
Drew.
she's in Ever After. Dougray Scott is the prince that she falls in love with. He is also in that film, as well as she has these awful steps. Angelica Houston plays
Yes.
like the best worst stepmother ever.
She's amazing.
I-
She's amazing.
I saw a part of the new Cinderella,
Mhm.
and I was like, this is not Angelica Houston, so I'm sorry.
yeah,
But it's
yeah.
not. It's just not going to work for me.
Mhm. I love this movie because it's not the Cinderella tale. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
the real life version of the Cinderella
Right.
tale.
So
that it
things
was-
how things would really happen. No
Yeah.
magic.
Right. No
magic involved.
No pumpkins. Even though a giant pumpkin sounds great to me because you can make a lot of food out of that. A lot of pumpkin pies. A lot of pumpkin bread. You
Da
guys.
Vinci's kind of her fairy godmother.
Yes,
He,
I love.
he puts that together.
I love
Which is
that.
hilarious. I do like the stepsisters. I feel like they were really well cast. And oh gosh, what else? I find that this is an underrated film.
Me too.
I need to watch it.
I thought it was
Still haven't watched it again.
gorgeously shot. I
Mhm.
loved all the costumes were historically accurate. I loved all the acting in it. I loved that they took elements of Cinderella, like you said, like Da Vinci is supposed to be is supposed to be the fairy godmother,
Right.
and her little friend that's like a squire boy is supposed to be or squire, yeah. A squire boy is kind of supposed to be like those little like helpers and mice that she has in the movie,
Yes,
and everyone kind of
exactly.
represents something. I really like that, and I liked her outfit was. When I was a little girl, I was like, hold on,
Yes.
hold on, hold on.
She did
I
have a
need that
great
dress.
outfit.
Yeah, I need that dress. I need that wing set. I want everything that's happening right now. And I was like, how did they make that back in like the 1600s or whatever this era was?
Right. I was shocked that there were fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks. Wait, fireworks were
Yes,
from
they're from forever
like
ago,
Japan,
but still,
from like 10,000 BC or
Yeah,
something.
but
Probably
still,
not,
I was
probably not,
still
but
like, that's crazy.
yeah, that's super crazy.
I also love that the beginning of it is the telling of the story, and she's telling it to the Grimm brothers.
Right.
And so they want to either, or because they already made the story, and she's like, I want to tell you the real story. You guys kind of heard the rumors and you can come up with this fun fantasy.
Right.
But here's the real story
Which
of Cinderella.
Is that true? Was there a real kind of Cinderella character, and that's
I
what the
don't
Grimm brothers
know.
came up with? Because if so, that's amazing. Because I know Beauty and the Beast, that's like a real. There's a documentary you guys got to watch about the real Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
And it's there's a genetic condition where your entire body is covered in hair. So
oh yeah, I've
yes.
seen this.
So watch it. I think it's called The Real Beauty and the Beast or something. I don't know. I totally forgot. But watch the documentary. It's fascinating, and that whole Beauty and the Beast is based on a true story. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. So yes,
Amazing.
cool.
There
Ever
we go.
After.
We did it.
Oh, I love this movie. I'm really glad you picked that.
We went from Election, then we did Reese Witherspoon movies with Sweet Home Alabama, as well as Wild. Off of Sweet Home Alabama, I went to movies that are similar to Sweet Home Alabama, and went to The Notebook, as well as to Keeping the Faith. And off of Wild, we went to movies with shoe significance,
Yeah,
with holes, as well as Ever After, a Cinderella story. There you have it.
Wow.
One film, how it links to 6 other films in some random way, shape, or form. That is 6 degrees of feature film.
The premise of our podcast. Lycanthropy? No, I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Laura's
I don't know,
trying
Laura.
to say the name of the condition when you're covered
let
in
me
hair.
just say,
lycanthropy
Laura,
is
lycanthropy
a werewolf.
Is a
Oh,
werewolf.
thank you.
But no.
I see Laura comment all the time on our channel, and I want to say thank you.
Laura!
Not that other people don't. I do see Neil a lot, but like when the video is already posted, I see her and she comes back and she has a lot to say, and I love it. I love it.
Hey girl,
So
we
thank
love
you.
you. I love you.
Real McCoy, I heart you.
Oh,
Well, I heart all of you.
thank you.
So that's how that works.
Nice.
And thanks the party popper. That's an interesting
Party
name.
pooper.
I wonder why you chose that. You can tell us.
He
some other
poops at
time.
parties?
Maybe that would be unfortunate. All right.
It's probably
here
in
we
the
go.
bathroom. I'm not saying he's doing it on the floor.
We're going to link it to Kevin Bacon because 6 degrees of feature film,
6
degrees of Kevin Bacon. So if you would like to,
I
or
would.
do you not want to?
No, I would, and I was just going
Okay.
to look up my Rocky.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Kevin Bacon was in Beauty Shop with Mina Suvari, who was in American Pie with Chris Klein, who was in Election. That was kind of a short one. That's good.
Yeah.
It's kind of short.
A little short.
Ah.
There you go.
Chris Klein. Where's Chris Klein, by the way? What's he up to?
Living
him?
life. I saw him at a Dodger game once.
What? Was he
Yeah,
cute
years ago.
in real life?
He was
Probably not.
just kind of a
He was just a guy?
attractive guy. Yeah,
Okay,
nothing
okay.
that I was like, if you will.
Okay.
Not that there's many that make me do that, but maybe Chris
Ryan
Evans.
Gosling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure,
probably.
sure. Okay, now we're gonna ask: would it be better with Rocky? Would Election be better with Sylvester Stallone as Rocky, as
Chris Klein's character.
Chris Klein's character, Paul Metzler?
Paul
There we go.
Metzler. This is from Paul's narration, and it's my favorite line of the film because it's so random. And here we go. My leg wasn't bugging me too much, and the weather was so nice. And every day after school, Lisa and I would go to a house and fuck and have a hot tub. It's the
Sure. That line is hilarious.
It's so written to fuck and have a hot tub. And I remember being young and be like, whoa, what? What did he just say? It just took me so out of it. And I just laughed so hard whenever
It's probably the
that line
first
comes
moment
up.
of the film that you're like, what?
you're going, what is this film? It's great. It's great.
Oh dear.
I love
Oh,
I
dear.
also love hot tubs. So there we go. Because I'm always cold. But if I'm in like a hot tub or a steam room, it's the only time where I'm like comfortable with the
Mhm.
temperature.
Mhm.
That's it.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show. It does come out in podcast form, but I have been so lazy and have not posted it in a long time. I need to get back on that. I'm going to get back
You'll
on
get
that.
back on it.
Our
It'll
last
be
one
all right.
that's up is like the one with Sam Basher, which was like months ago.
Whoa.
So the show on YouTube is actually farther ahead than the iTunes feed
Mhm.
because again,
So YouTube it.
I
YouTube
got
that
a
shit.
lot going on.
Me too.
Got a lot
We
of
both
doctor's
do.
appointments.
Mhm.
Yeah, good
I
times.
got like a second part-time job basically
Yeah, we're busy.
with with like independent films, so that's really cool.
I love
And
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
killing it.
Where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at SOHoward2012 all the time, chatting movies, talking
Mhm.
shit. I like it. Mhm.
You can find me pretty much all day, every day on Twitter at Miss Movies, and that's pretty much it. Ain't got anything else going on lately, so
No.
mm,
Oh,
nothing
and
to plug.
then, well, are things coming out? I don't know when.
I don't know.
Things are coming out in like single Schmodown Ultimate, but
That'll
who
be
knows?
happening after Teams is done.
Oh,
Teams is still
damn.
going.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Okay,
when we're
that's
not
gonna
in
be
it, we don't give
long
a
time.
shit.
We don't
So that's
care.
how that works.
You know what? It doesn't matter though. We lost. We're still gonna support our friends in the show.
That's right.
That's right. So we're gonna watch
Support
as
them.
fans, just like you guys, not as
Mhm,
competitors.
mhm.
So it's gonna
Reaction
be a good time.
videos. Maybe we'll do one.
Oh, we should do a reaction to. We should do a reaction to someone. I don't know who, but
You guys let us know.
we'll do it. Yeah, let us know if you want us to do a reaction to some Schmodown, the Ultimate Schmodown episodes.
Maybe a team action. Maybe a team
We
action
should.
one.
We should.
We'll figure that out.
Mhm.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.